Hi everyone, I wanted to create an instructional video that's a follow-up to the get ready, do, done, get done strategy that Aileen shared with us in September. We've been using this strategy with our grade 9s, and we found an online tool that perhaps helps keep our grade 9s a little more organized. It's digital, they can access it anywhere. We're using the website called Linoit. So up here in the search bar, I've typed it Linoit. And if I go to the first link here, and I go to their website, Linoit is a virtual corkboard and allows us to put on stickies, allows us to separate our area into different tasks and different things that we can do. What I like about it is we can use our Google account or our school Gmail account to access it. So I'm going to click on Login. And instead of typing in a new username and password, I'm actually going to go with my Google account. It says that Lino would like to know who you are on Google and view your email address, and we're going to have to allow that. And now I want to sign up using your Google account. I'm going to use the Comtech account, so Comtech becomes my username. You may need to change your username if it's a common username that's already on Linoit. But we're mostly going to use our email address for it. So I have my email address in here. I need to accept our terms of use. I'm going to sign up. And now I'm in to Linoit. Now it looks a little confusing with all the different things that are here, but it's actually quite simple to use. Here's our current canvas as it already starts with. I'm actually going to create a new canvas. And I'm going to call this, perhaps this was our name tag project that we did in grade 9. If I want to be able to share it, so if I want to use it for a group project, right now it's set for my own private use. I can show stickies to everyone, or I can show stickies to everyone may post, so we can share the website with other people. I'm going to keep it private for now. I'm going to create a canvas, and I have a corkboard. And I can scroll down my corkboard, and you can see over here you have all the area of your corkboard. All I'm going to do is drag some post-its on, add some text, and start to break up my board and start to break up the task much as Aileen described to us. And we can use different colored stickies which correspond really well with what Aileen shared with us. So this first part is the get ready, and I'm going to type that into the post-it note. I've changed my font size here to be bigger. There's no due date on this one, but I will post it. With Linoit, you can also resize things. So I want this to be a little bit wider because I'm going to break my board into sections. I can also move over my post-it note. I can move it. If I want to peel it off, I can use this checkbox here to peel it off. I can copy it to another canvas, I can send the sticky to somebody else, I can set a due date, or I can edit the sticky. So if I want to edit, make a change to it, but I'll keep it the way it is. So if I want to peel it off, I click on this button and my sticky disappears. It tells me that it's been removed, and now I simply add another one and type get ready. And I will post this one. This is going to be a heading. And with my headings, what I probably want to do is pin my sticky. I want it to stay there. So I move my mouse over to the center, top center of it, and all of a sudden my cursor becomes a push pin. And I will click on that. So now it's been pinned to my board and it can't be moved. Let's get a green board or a green sticky. This is the do section. My font is still big. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to pin this one. And I'm going to put on my done sticky. I will resize it. And I will pin that one. Now what we can do in the Get Ready stage, Aileen had shared with us the SMART strategy, so strategies, materials, the arts, supplies, the resources, and the technology that we need. So I'm going to add more stickies, and I'll keep using the same coloring system so that it's easy for our students to look at. So some of the materials that I'm going to need, I may need, well, let's start actually the way she showed us, and let's bring in a picture of what I want to do. We're going to be making a name tag on our 3D printer. So I'm going to drag in, let me cancel that, let me back up. I'm going to drag in a picture. I'm going to choose my file. I'm going to go to Pictures, and I'm going to click in a name tag. This is a picture that I already had. We can change the size of it. Large will be about that big, a little bit easier to see. And then I can move that over, and I can pin it. So we can put in our picture. The picture has to be saved in a drive somewhere or on your desktop that you can already access. I've been telling our grade 9 students to put their pictures in their My Pictures folder, and then they can click on that. We can also include video, we can insert different documents. So now that we know what our finished product is going to look like, we can start to work backwards. So let's start in the Ready, or the Get Ready. I'm going to make my font a little bit smaller for this so I can fit more in. So what materials do I need? Well, I do need to use a program or a website called Tinkercad for 3D design. And what I really like about using Linoit for this strategy is I can bring in multiple stickies, and I can easily break up the tasks for my students to do. Other supplies, we will need to select the color for the print job. I know with ours, we also had to identify and know what the X, Y, and Z axes were. We needed to be able to know what those were for 3D printing. We needed to know how to group objects. Well, actually we need to insert objects first. Group objects. And we also needed to be able to know how to cut holes in objects to allow for space. So we put this on here. And the last thing I had my students do for this one, or they needed to know how to do, was save their project with an identifying name and to the correct location, and as an STL file. We needed that type of file to be able to send their creation to the 3D printer. So I have those things that they have to get ready for. Now I'm going to actually put in some of the do things. And in some of the do pieces, they're actually going to create their name tag out of cylinders, boxes, and other shapes. I can post that one. Some of the other things they had to do were to complete the checklist on the Google Doc. And the checklist had all the requirements that they needed to complete, and just a way of helping them assess themselves just for completion and for some of the tasks that they had to do. Students also had to participate in a brief protocol featuring I likes and have a look ats. And they have a look at and have a look at. And the have a look at was simply to offer some advice or to perhaps show them something they needed a space or a measurement wasn't quite correct to make their product better. So everybody will be participating in that. So those are some things that they had to do. And then their last thing that they had to do was book a time for 3D printing. They actually needed to book that with Mr. Blyleven, so with Mr. B. One of the other things that we're having the students do is put a picture of their finished product in. So I'm going to choose, I just got the sample one that we can post it in. And we can move that to here. So there's our sample of what perhaps a finished one would look like. I'd put my real sample in there. And then here I'm going to have my get done. And in my get done section, perhaps I'm going to celebrate my work. I'm going to show my friends the name tag. I'll make that font smaller. Perhaps I also need to, in the get done, so the work is done, but now I need to add it to my portfolio. Let's stretch that one out. So those are some of the things we can have in our get done. Perhaps I needed to also hand in or turn in that Google Doc. Turn in the Google Doc. Let's post that. And we have those post-its done. Let me pin get done. So this is Linoit. What I like about the model that Aileen showed us and also using Linoit for it, I can take it into a number of tasks. I can really break my tasks up into the do. We can set individual due dates on them, and I can get these due date reminders, which you're just going to have to take a bit of time to look at what you can do with Linoit. If I wanted to share a canvas so multiple people could work on it or a group could use it, I would go to the home button up here, so go back to my page. I would go up here to my canvases, and here's the one that we were just working on, and I'm going to go to preferences, and I can access to canvas, publicity, everyone may post a sticky. I can be notified when somebody's posted one, but I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to my canvas, and I can go to the information on my canvas, and all of a sudden now I have the address of where it is, and I can share that with other people or share it with my group. So that's Linoit. If you have any more questions or you want more instruction on it, I'd love to work with you some more. I can help you with the technology, and Aileen can help you with the idea of how this model works.